Listen, come closer, get comfortable. I'd like to welcome everybody to Alan and Jen's wedding. I hope you've had an absolutely fabulous day so far. And as you can see, we're only getting started. I'm going to hand you over to the head of the Mowat clan, Mr. Robert Mowat. He's going to say a few words and then we're going to pass the mic on.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our eldest son's marriage. No doubt Andrew will be thinking, when's it going to happen to me? Well, there's no hurry, Andrew, okay? Anyway, it's so far it's been fantastic, and it's wonderful to see so many of Alan and Jenny's friends here, supporting them at this important stage of their life. So I just want to give you, I'm not going to bore you too much, but just a few little stories and things about basically Alan's upbringing and so on. I think we've done a reasonable job so far. Alan was born on the 29th of March '84. Kind of a pleasant surprise. Well, we had two lovely girls actually before that, I have to say. But it's just nice to have a boy as well in the family, you know, sort of to balance the books a bit. So,
2 boys!
Yeah, well, so we've got 2 since then. Andy Bell. Anyway, the 2 girls were often referred to by Auntie Sheila as the 2 dolls. And now we seem to have, our grandchildren are like a bunch of dolls, all those lovely girls dressed so beautifully today. Needless to say, after Alan was born, we had a good few pints in the rugby club afterwards and managed to survive. Anyway, the point about boys and girls is that there's something different about boys and girls, and there's a famous comedian from Belfast by the name of James Young, and I don't know, it's probably way back before your time in this case, but James Young, he used to tell amazing stories, and one of the stories was about wee boys and wee girls. And he came, this boy came home from school one day and he said, Daddy, I know the difference between wee boys and wee girls, Daddy. And the daddy was thinking, geez, what's going to happen next? Well, what do I say here? Okay, go on, son, go on. There's Daddy, the wee boys wear short trousers, Daddy. That's it. Did you not know that? That's the difference. Anyway, in any event, the point I really want to make is that there is another difference between wee boys and wee girls, as we know with some of our little boy grandchildren that have come along since. But our girls never stood on the glass table and tried to bounce on it like a trampoline. As soon as Alan was about 3, he decided, I think I'll try to stand on this glass table and see what happens. Of course, needless to say, the glass table broke. The girls never did that. Alan was a sporty lad. He played tennis and hockey, rugby and football and all the usual sports and golf and everything as a young lad growing up. And one of my favourite things was on a Wednesday afternoon when he was in Wesley College, there'd be usually a rugby match on a Wednesday afternoon, and I was in business at the time, so I used to pretend that I had an appointment away from the office on a Wednesday afternoon to go and watch and support the boys on the rugby pitch. So I don't think I was ever taught out for that, you know. So, but obviously the teenage years, you know, good and bad, but there wasn't too much bad. It was mostly good. Alan always a good work ethic, and I remember at home we had quite a lot of big garden and hedges and stuff to be cut, and I always encouraged them to give me a hand, you know. So one day we had a ride-on mower, and I showed Alan how to, he was about 10 I think at the time, I showed him how to drive the ride-on. It was basically just forward, press the forward clutch. But I forgot to show him where the brake was. So, needless to say, he gets up on it and drives straight into a tree. Bang! Just a big dent in the front of the mower, but his head was okay.
That time round.
Yeah. But all that work and so on, the work ethic is you know, he's brought it through to his since then. Like we had a cottage there, which Alan had a look at the cottage. And, oh, I think I could move into that cottage, Dad. Well, there's only one running cold water tap in it, and there's no toilet or anything. But I said, if you want to help to upgrade the cottage, I'll help you. So, needless to say, a lot of you here would have been at many a party, I think, in that cottage. And it was just far enough away from the house that we didn't hear the noise. So the point is that he helped get that sorted into a livable space. And of course then, you know, he decided to go travelling, and he went to Australia and Canada and all over the place, which I thought was a good idea before you settle down, you know, and get that out of the way. Which brings me to think that he met Jenny, I believe, in their early teens, just as friends, because he was a great pal of Dave's, Jenny's brother, and I think they were only about 12 or 13 when they first met, like as in just school friends, you know, kind of thing, I believe. I suppose it might have been an all-secret kiss, you know, whatever you do when you're 12 or 13. And then they went their separate ways, and they're travelling and did different stuff. And apparently 6 or 7 years ago they met up at some social event and decided to start going out again. So the moral of that story is, in my view, is they were friends first as growing up, and and then, you know, you develop relationships by being friends first, and that's now it's turned out to be hopefully a long and happy marriage for them, you know. So, they've since bought a house in Redford, as you know, and did great work on that, and Jordan, who's here, actually did a lot of work on it. But Jenny has an amazing ability to say what she wants done and done properly. And she has these wonderful ideas about design and everything. You should say, well, I'm sure a lot of you have seen the house, but it's like something you see in a magazine that did such a good job. Fair play to them for that. And during that period, actually, it was about a year, and they stayed with us in the house. And I have to say, we never had any issues or arguments or anything. It was just fantastic, and we got to know Jenny very well. So, in that regard, I think there'll be no problem whatsoever in their marriage. They're a good partnership. Just a few things I want to say, and I'll finish then. Beautiful, smart, intelligent, and a supreme organizer. That's Jenny. Alan's a great lad. Success in business. Yes, he has his abilities also. They're both very successful in business, and I'd like to wish them every success in a long and happy marriage. And we'd like to wish them well. And please God, it'll be fruitful, and maybe they might even add to our bunch of 7 grandchildren next time that if we're all, if we'd like to see. And I finally say, welcome Jenny into our family. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you all to my sister Jenny's wedding to Alan. I think there's a few in the room who don't know me. I'm Jenny's older brother and only brother, and by default I'm her best brother. I've known Jenny her whole life. We're Irish twins, there's 10 months between us. My life with Jenny started on the 15th of February 1986. I was often described by my parents as a child who would sleep endlessly, to the point where they'd have to check me for a pulse. That all ended on Jenny's arrival from the hospital. Jenny was put into the cot beside me, and I can only describe her as the little girl from The Exorcist. She didn't stop screaming and crying for the whole time, something that Alan has to get used to.
Things never change.
Yeah. Myself and Jenny were the best of friends growing up. We held hands in the garden, and we were the cutest little brother and sister, if I do say so myself. We learned to walk together, talk together, because there was only 10 months between us. We were so close, it was unbelievable. We used to share baths together, and we loved nothing more than our hair being spiked up with the suds, you know, the Mohicans and stuff. And that all changed when our youngest sister, Amy, arrived. Our beautiful childhood friendship ended very quickly. But we weren't going to give up without a fight. When Amy arrived, we did our best to get rid of her. We hid her in cupboards around the house. We tried to give her away to strangers. And on one occasion, I'm a bit ashamed to admit it, we tried to flush her down the toilet. We were all fairly close together in age, right? We were described as the present children. Amy was born the day after Mum's birthday, so she was the birthday present. I was born on Easter Sunday, and as many of you can tell by the size of my head, I was the Easter present. Sorry about that, Mum. And Jenny was born the day after Valentine's Day. And any of you are lucky enough to have Jenny as a friend, you know her being a Valentine's present is very apt, because she's a very loyal and loving friend to each one of you, her friends who are in the room. But as often happens, as you get older, you start to drift apart. We were in national school, and when we moved on to secondary school, Jenny went to an all-girls school and I went to an all-boys school. Jenny started hanging around with girls and I started hanging around boys. And one of these boys who's doing his best to get embedded into the family is Alan Malone. He's been here a long time in the Malone family, and I had the pleasure to meet him first. I spent many's a day up in the Gables where I got to meet Alan's lovely family before any of you. I met Maura, who was my favourite one that I've met of Jenny's supers. There was a few, okay? She's gorgeous, what can I say? Moira was amazing. She always welcomed me to the house, and I always appreciated the nice little dinner she did for us on occasion. Robert had a moustache at the time that would make Burt Reynolds cringe. He was that good. He was a man of few words who would say very little to you because his head would be buried in the telly watching rugby, and on occasion be watching on S4C in Welsh, so I'm pretty sure he didn't have a clue what was going on. Rebecca and Mel. To me, when I came up to the house first, it was a sideline. There were two stunners. They were like supermodels in the house. And then Andrew was the young, hyper little brother I always wanted myself. But things go on, and all of a sudden, Alan became more important than the brother. They used to creep. I shouldn't be telling this story, but okay, I'll have to explain something to you, right? The layout of my house is the girls' room was at the back, my room was at the side, and on occasion I had to let Alan creep in my bedroom window when people had gone to bed. I don't know what they were doing, but anyway, moving on swiftly. That's true. Jenny went away to Australia following a little stay down in Edenderry that didn't suit her. She couldn't take to the country life. Sleeping on random strangers' shoulders on the way up to Dublin. She also was she trained to be a beauty therapist, which I'm not sure how that worked out for her because she hates feet. And one part of it was doing a pedicure. So she went off to Australia, and herself and Alan went their separate ways. When she returned, I asked a load of people to describe what they admire about my sister most. And loads of people said her determination and her ability to do stuff. Jenny went and did an open university course on her own life, on her own back to advance her career. Now she's in Facebook, a job that she loves so well. And as many as you know, that suits her down to the ground, because if you look at Facebook or Instagram, you'll know what she had for breakfast, lunch, dinner, when she went to the gym. Jenny looks stunning today, and that's also something that's true. I asked people for more advice about her, what they admired about her. I was told by one very person in her life that they admired how glamorous she was, and that's been true since a very early age. Jenny and Al got together again, and that's fantastic because Alan, when I was growing up, was always a fellow I looked up to. He loved Oasis before I did. He showed me Bob Marley, and he took me for spins around the field in a Clapto Ford. Yeah. Jenny is the most special sister. I always wanted a brother, but I always wanted... Yours is coming up shortly, relax. I always wanted a brother, but I got 2 sisters. And Jenny, I wouldn't change it for the world. You're a super special sister. And Alan, if I was to pick a brother, I'd pick someone like you. Robert said earlier on that he would love to add another couple to the family. So I have a present here that will help you achieve that. Love you, pants. Best of luck. Thanks very much, everyone.
Broke out in an Oasis tune. Yeah, so I suppose firstly I just want to thank everybody for being here to celebrate this really special day with myself and my wife. So it really means a lot to us that you could all share this experience on this day with the 2 of us. You're all the people who've been through with us throughout the years, through the good times and the bad times, as a couple and as individuals. But we both look forward to sharing more amazing memories and times with you guys all at some point of our marriage and lives together. Thanks to all here who helped on rallying around us to the lead up today, to packing petals and grabbing wedding books and doing this, that and the other. We appreciate it a lot, and also for the Texas support and everything. So thank you for that. A special and particular thank you goes out to all the people who have travelled across from the UK, making the effort despite Hurricane Lorenzo, giving us all a little heart failure along the way, but when we learned it was coming our way, and we knew it was going to be grand, and the day worked out perfect. So and a lot of people came back from the likes of Miami and where else? Mexico, like, so big shout out, Greystone, Sunny G, massive. So thanks to everyone for being here. I wanted to also thank Trish for the beautiful ceremony. She's an amazing person. She's a joy to deal with. Flo Fennell for the beautiful flowers. All the staff here as well at Martinstown House. They've all been so helpful throughout this whole wedding process. The guys have gone above and beyond for us, and you know, it really is such a family-run business. I don't know if many of you know, but when we came to view the venue in March, we drove up in Jen's at the Fiat 500, and it was like, it started snowing a little bit, but by the time we got up to the crossroads, there was probably about a foot of snow, so we were literally stopped the car and pulled in, and we rang them and we were like, listen, we can't come down these back roads, we're not going to make it down, so we'll just leave it. And Ed, like, kindly enough, came up and picked us up in the Jeep with heated seats. We had a great old chat on the way down, walked around the venue, and you all know how beautiful this venue is, but imagine it covered in snow, like. So we walked around, and I think that was, we were basically turned around before we even got out of the car and said, yeah, we'll take this venue. Thanks very much. So yeah, no, it's beautiful, amazing venue. Also, just wanted to give Jess a big shout out as well. She's been amazing with the two of us. Jen and herself have been back and forth through messages and chats and organising this and that, and she also has gone above and beyond. She's been amazing, and her husband Andrew, who you'll be tasting all his amazing food later, like it's to die for. So thanks again, guys. Their hospitality has been amazing. Thanks Duffy for sorting out the speeches. I don't know where he is, but I'll point to the camera. Thanks Duffy for doing that and taking the time out of your busy schedule today to do that. Appreciate it. Thanks to Mary and Tom for having Jenny. She's a fine specimen of a woman, and you wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you guys. I want to shout out to my sisters, Mel and Becca. Thanks Mel for the sibling advice over the years. It's been good. It's been good having you guys as sisters, you know, giving me the advice I need in certain situations that I wouldn't have been able to get through, because I'm like a guy. So that's been great. I want to thank my mum and dad as well for all the support over the years. Thanks for giving me all the life lessons I needed, letting me make mistakes, and a few of them, but as you were saying earlier on, I was a good lad a lot of the time, but I think I just got away with a lot of stuff.
Didn't know about that.
Exactly. What you don't know won't hurt you. Trust me. So, yeah, thanks for giving me amazing advice, bringing me up so well and making me the man I am today, and helping me out, obviously, in certain situations financially when I really needed you. The likes of Australia and all. And we both would like to thank the two of you as well for putting us up last year in the house. It was a big deal to us because it helped us save for our beautiful home Greystones in our own hometown, which is amazing. So we wouldn't have been able to do that without you. It's also a real a special moment for me because Jen and Mum created a really good bond as well, which I don't think you would have gotten so close if we hadn't have moved into the house. So thank you for that. Thanks to Jen's nan Mary for coming all the way up from Waterford as well. As Trish touched on earlier, it isn't just our special day, but it is a special day for the Malone family, as it was Jen's granddad Dick's birthday today. So it's a nice day to remember for the family, and we go down to Waterford and celebrate it every year. So well, his passing every year, but it's nice to have another reason to celebrate now. So thanks for that. I can't say enough about the little girls, my nieces and nephews on the Malones and the Moat side, but they're all my nieces and nephews now, really. They look amazing, they were great, thanks for all the help. The beautiful bridesmaids, big shout out to them. You girls look absolutely beautiful, and Jenny was delighted that you guys could be there for her in the lead up and helping her out on the wedding day. The girls ran around at 9 o'clock this morning setting up things and stuff, while I was making myself a bacon and egg sandwich at home. So thanks a little bit. It was a nice sandwich. But also, yeah, thanks a lot for that. So fair play, guys. I want to thank my two brothers, my best mates, Martin and Andrew. And I've known the boys my whole life as well. But you know, we'll see how this friendship goes after they get off the microphone. And now on to you, Jennifer and Malone. No way. So, yeah, Jen, you look absolutely amazing today. In fairness, there was kind of no doubt that you wouldn't look beautiful today. You are beautiful, and you're amazing, and yeah, you look stunning today. Thanks for putting up with me. Thanks, you know, obviously I have annoying habits and annoying natures at times, or what I like to call the 3 Fs. So, fidgeting, forgetting, which I think most of us are quite guilty of, and can you guess the other one? So I think we're all a little guilty of that. Just let it flow, man. So look, you are an amazing person inside now, Jen. You put everyone first. You're fun, you're patient, you're funny, gorgeous, intelligent, smart, caring, loving, and so extremely creative. Jen, I don't know if everybody knows this, but Jen designed and made all the invites by hand. She designed and made the palette outside with the set list on it, the cake topper. I don't know where the cake is, but she's done all. Oh, there it is. There. It's a nice cake, isn't it? She's done all the table things with the names on it and everything. The table plan. She's done it all. She made the menu. So fair play. She's basically done everything. You know, the flowers, the organised the venue, pictures, props, photo booth. She's dealt with Jess on the venue. Everything to do with she's done, and I'm so grateful that you've done it. All the detail that you put into it. You've really outdone yourself. You're so talented, and I'm so lucky to have you. And in fairness, if you didn't do it, nothing would have got done. So thank you. We obviously have a lot of history together, and I'm pretty sure I fell in love with her from the first moment I saw you. As a young teen, hanging out in our old haunts like Paddy's and Shell, the Trex and the Harbour Wall, all the table names that you have there, that's where we hung out as kids. It was like sitting, it was like times at sitting in your kitchen in Heatherview, watching you peel those spuds for dinner or cleaning the house. That was when I really knew I was onto a winner. And I have to make this girl my wife some days. I'm glad we had that 10-year break to experience life without each other, but it seems no matter what, we were always meant to be. We always seem to be drawn together somehow, in some way. You've always been part of my family, but now it's official. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you, creating more memories and having more laughs and adventures and fun, and hopefully one day we'll have a little family of our own. So I don't have anything to toast you with. I'd like to best man for a reason, lads. I love you to the moon and back, Jenny. And I'd like to raise a toast to you, Mrs. Mode. Welcome to the gang, and I love you. Ready? So who's up next?
Good evening again. Let me all say you all look fantastic this evening. From Alan and Jenny, obviously the two getting married, looking the best, clearly. To everyone else, all the guests, all the staff working, it's great to see you all here, and thank you for being here. I'd like to start the typical old way, but very importantly, thanking everyone here for being here, and for being here in this amazing venue. My family for being so close and supportive of each other, and being here for Alan and Jenny. I'd also like to thank Martintown House and all the members of staff from behind to front doors for accommodating us all. I want to say one more thank you to Alan and Jenny and mention how proud and honoured I am to call Alan my brother and my best friend. And Jenny, my now sister-in-law. So can you all please raise a drink, or whatever you have in your hand, to Alan and Jenny. So I'd like to talk about a really special essay which Alan wrote himself on the 17th of January 1997. 3 years and 15 days after I was born. He named it Most Exciting Day of My Life. Since I was a very small boy, I wished for a brother to play football with, mess fight, rugby, and just have fun and have another boy in the house. One day, Mum and Dad went out for a while. They come home for a while.
They were shopping, I think.
Must have been. We didn't usually have family meetings, but there was one happening. So they sat us down and asked us all, would you all like a baby brother or sister? I sat in amazement, and in my head I decided I want to cry because I was about 3 or 4. Since I was about 3 or 4, I was wishing for a baby brother. So Rebecca and Mel asked Mum and Dad, you're not actually having a baby, are you guys? Mum says, all I could feel was my eyes were starting to water. Dad showed the ultrasound, and I thought this was amazing. 9 months later, the day comes where Mum gets rushed into the hospital. They were in there for hours. The phone rings, the girls answer it and burst into tears, and they put down the phone and come in and say, Alan, you've got a baby brother. Me. I felt I needed to collapse. I was so happy I burst into tears. My wish came true. I went into hospital and saw Andrew. He was tiny, I started to cry, and he had a little nose. And tiny fingers. And tiny fingers. That was the most exciting day of my life. So if years pass by, next minute, I'm in the garden with my older brother, mess fighting and serious when someone gets a punch that was a little too hard, and then there's war. And of course we would kick around the football, and he would make me consistently kick the ball with my left foot, just so I master it. Now I kick the ball with my left foot, just as good as my right foot. I'd say better left foot than him at this stage.
Yeah, right.
I think he spent too much time trying to make me better than himself. But that's it. That is why I'm standing here telling you this, because that is Alan. That's my brother. He cares for others. He gives time to others more than himself. Even with our beautiful nieces and nephews, he's so good with them. Now let's not forget, we all have jobs and commitments and families. But when he gets the time to see them, he makes an effort, and there is no one better. It wasn't all love and laughter having an older brother being the youngest. Mum and Dad might head out for the night, leaving me and Al in the gaff. I'd end up calling out for Al, noticing the house is empty and silent. And anyone that knows our old house in Winegates, it's a big, dark, scary place where no one's in the gaff. Like it's quiet. So then there will be stages. This person would jump out from around corners, hide in my closet, stand in the room, and I'd just see this dark image, and he'd be wearing this mask with eyes the size of tennis balls, curly, greasy, receding black hair. I had sleepless nights. So. I remember one story a bit more recent. Electric Picnic 2013, when me and Alan headed down together on a lovely evening to what was either my first or second festival. Now me knowing my brother, he wasn't just buzzing off the buzzers. But he kept mentioning hopefully meeting up with this girl down there that he used to go out with when he was in his teens. Yes, you might know her, Jenny Moat. Alone there, I was going to say. Al sets up his tent and mine, just beside the big blue bus. We end up meeting up with Jenny and have a float around, see a few acts. I get to know her a bit and I feck off to let them have the crack for the night. A few hours pass till it's early in the morning, and at that stage I'm looking for somewhere to sleep, as I still haven't seen where my mates have camped, so not going there. So I head back to the tent that me and Alan set up. Alan. Al. Still no answer. I'm just up in the big blue bus. Freezing out here, can't find anywhere. Are you there? Soon realised they're both in there, probably asleep. So I head off for the rest of the night and find ways to keep warm. It was the only option. Lost where I am, yeah. Eventually found some of my mates, if any of you are still feeling a little bit sorry for me. But look, that's what brothers are for, right? So cheers for the memories, bro. No hard feelings. Now, before I let all you mad yokes go, get back to your shenanigans. Earlier on when I spoke about how me being born was the most exciting day of Alan's life, I left out he said something just after that. He said, so far. Most exciting day of my life so far. What I'm getting at is I'm just so happy for my brother, because right now this evening, this is definitely probably up there with my date of birth. Al, you've had a little brother, you're marrying the person that you love, and you have an amazing family with another person added to it on paper, and friends who all stand by your side, and we are an absolute fucking unit. You always have advice for me whether I take it or not. I always listen. You always have my back, you have always inspired me, and I look up to you more than you can imagine. I'm emphasizing always because you have. And I'm always here for you, Al, to the fucking grave. I wish you the best. I can't express I love you from your little bigger bro.
Mr. Andrew Mowat. Last but not least, I hope. I promise not to keep you too long, as I'm sure you're all keen to get on with this wonderful day in this amazing venue. I'd like to thank Robert, David, aka Monkey Malone, and Andrew for their lovely words. I think at this stage everybody has been made feel welcome. The one thing that I do think is definitely worth repeating is how absolutely amazing Jenny looks. As do the bridesmaids, and what amazing job that they have done. Alan has been referring to this day as the most important day of his life for a long time. And I think we will all agree that he's an extremely lucky man. Most of you will know that myself and Alan have been best mates for a long time, over 30 years now, and it's a fact that we're both very proud of. I'm going to mention a few little stories that capture our growing up together. Some of my earliest memories are up in the Gables with the Mowats. It genuinely was a special place growing up. There was a hay barn for practicing your wrestling moves. There was always an old car or tractor around for joyriding. And then they had loads of hens. I don't think we'll ever forget the hens. And in the mornings, myself and Alan would go and collect all the eggs, and we'd run into Maura, but we wouldn't give her all the eggs. We had our own little secret stash that we'd build up, and once we had enough for an afternoon's fun, we would climb the big tree at the bottom of the garden, and we would pelt passing cars with eggs. was actually quite sensible in many ways. On our many trips down to the shops to buy sweets, he would always manage to spend less money than everybody else. This is a trait which is carried through to this day. And Alan's sweets always seem to last longer than everybody else. He could make a pack of wine gums last for a month. But wherever we'd end up around Greystones, he was always armed with packs of half sweets and half crisps. This is probably why at one stage he had teeth like Austin Powers. He was always great at getting out of sticky situations. I'll never forget one Sunday, after a game of rugby in Delasol, myself, Alan and Robbie decided to explore the drink cellar in the clubhouse. We thought that it would be rude not to take something back to Greystones with us, and this just happened to be a 2-litre bottle of whiskey. Once back in Greystones, we met up in Crisp and Cell. Alan and Robbie didn't really like the taste of it, but it didn't seem to bother me, so I ploughed on. Well, it wasn't long before I was face down in a pile of napkins crying for my mum. Robbie knew exactly what to do. He ran away. Alan had other ideas though. He spotted a group of young kids having a water fight, and he invited them over, propped me up against the wall, and encouraged them to pelt me with water bombs and super cycles in an effort to sober me up. He eventually gave up and walked me home right up to Ratdown Park. When he got there, he panicked. He ducked me on the doorstep, rang the doorbell, then he ran away. But whatever drink he'd taken must have had an effect on him, because he dropped me at the wrong bloody doorstep. When questioned about the incident the next day, he denied he'd even seen me that afternoon. Anyway, once we were old enough, well, at least old enough to have fake IDs, we were in and out of Dublin clubbing most weekends. Many of these excursions would end up in the infamous 50 Redford, which was known to us as Red's Gaff. It was here one evening that he told me that he was seeing someone. I said, who? He said, you'll never guess. And I said, Jenny Malone. He could not work out how I knew, but he'd been clearly stalking her for at least 6 months. As earlier said, he'd even befriended David in the process. Anyway, Alan was bound for Australia, so himself and Jen went their separate ways, but we now know that this is just a little intermission on their very special journey. I still remember his little post office savings book that he used to show me every week with his money building up. So, sometimes I think Alan gets more of a kick out of saving for things than he actually does doing them. I would say that he still has his communion money, but we all know that's not true. I can still remember the morning when he left for Oz. He called up to say goodbye, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a little lump in my throat and a tear when he left. And sure, it wasn't long before myself, Dickie and Emmett decided to join him over there. To be honest, I need a fortnight to tell all the stories from down under, so we'll just have to leave that. Over time, we all went our separate ways. We came home at different times. I had fully intended to go back to Oz, but I never did. I'll come back to that. Alan had headed off to Canada with Bella and Paddy, who christened him Old Man Mo, because he just simply was not what he used to be, and he struggled to keep up in the many sessions that the boys went to. However, when in Canada, one night, drunk on Facebook, guess who he started talking to? You guessed it, Jenny Malone. Him and Jen started seeing each other shortly after we got back, and sure, here we are today. I have to say, it's been absolutely amazing to watch them grow as a couple over the years. All their cute little adventures, Caribbean cruises, travels to Vietnam and Italy, and their many festivals, and obviously buying a first home together in Greystones. However, I think watching Alan hashtag his way through many key moments in his life has been something that we've all got a lot of joy out of. When Alan announced their engagement on Instagram, he said that he had to choose between Jenny and Man United Football Club, whatever that means. His hashtags included hashtag good girl, hashtag mott, hashtag I got the perfect ring, hashtag Champions League, hashtag top onto yourself. We all know that Al loves a bit of social media, and sure, it was only last week that he was plaguing Liam Gallagher to drop everything and come and play day 2 of the wedding. After a week of tweeting every single day, Liam just simply refused to get back. What many people don't know is that Liam was not his first choice. A week earlier, he genuinely rang me and asked could I get Hosier's number. Took a bit of time for me to explain that I didn't think this was possible. And even though Hosier was local, he might have other things to do. I am going to finish up shortly, but before I do, there's actually some nice things I'd like to say. Alan, you are truly like a brother to me. You've always been there for me. You've never judged me. You've always supported me with my crazy ideas and the risks that I take. And I know you love me just the same whether I fail or flourish. He's always pushed me to see the brighter side of life, like he does everyone. One particular night sticks to mind about 8 years ago, when my whole world had been genuinely ripped apart earlier that day. Alan came to my house, he walked up to me, he looked me in the eye, and he told me, this is why you did not go back to Australia. Still to this day, I cannot understand how he found words of comfort at a time like that. But he did, and that's why I know he's my brother. Most of the time we don't even need to speak, all it takes is a look or two, and we know exactly what's up with one another. I genuinely believe that we'll see things they never see. All that love I have for Al very much extends to his family. Maura and Robert, you've always been there for me through thick and thin. Rebecca and Mel, you've genuinely treated me like a little brother from day one. Andrew's been like the ridiculously good-looking brother that I never had. And I can't mention his whole family without mentioning all his wonderful nieces and nephews who Al has so much love for. I'd also like to mention Jeff and what's his name? Oh, Liam. Yeah, Jeff and Liam. As of today, Jenny, you're now part of that family, and that love I have for all of them very much extends to you, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I know you and Al are going to be absolutely unreal as a couple, and while I wish that life gives you everything you deserve, life is precious, and I know you will both give life everything that it deserves. I started this speech by letting Al know how lucky he was, and he truly is. I'm going to finish it by letting you both know how lucky you are to have each other. I would like everybody in the room to grab a glass and raise it. I don't have a glass, if anyone wants to have it. Come on, monkey, so, enjoy the rest of the day, evening, night to Mr. and Mrs. Mowat.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your places for dinner straight away. Thank you. Please take your places.